Imagine a world where blind alien predators have overrun Earth and most of humanity has been completely wiped out. Even though these monsters are completely blind, their hearing is incredibly sharp. Only a few people are left who have learned to navigate by communicating entirely through sign language and making absolutely no noise. On day 89 of the invasion, we see the Abbott family, who are surviving exactly like this. The father Lee, pregnant mother Evelyn, deaf daughter Reagan, and sons Marcus and Bo, scavenging a deserted town. They walk barefoot on paths to avoid making noise. While inside an abandoned store, 4-year-old Bo grabs a plastic toy space shuttle. Lee immediately takes it away and removes the batteries, warning him in sign language that it is too dangerous. However, Reagan secretly hands the toy back to Bo to comfort him, not realizing the boy has also pocketed the batteries. On their walk home across a bridge, Bo puts the batteries back in. The toy blares a loud electronic siren. Lee sprints to save him, but a creature hears the noise, bursts from the woods, and snatches Bo in a flash, leaving the family completely devastated. Jumping to day 472, we see that the family is living on an isolated farm, heavily haunted by Bo's death. Reagan suffers from guilt, believing her father blames her for the tragedy. Meanwhile, Lee obsessively fortifies the farm, installing a matrix of outdoor string lights that can switch from normal white to emergency red. He spends nights down in his basement workshop building hearing aids for Reagan, trying to fix her hearing, though none have worked so far. To make things even more stressful, Evelyn is days away from giving birth, a terrifying prospect in a world where a crying baby triggers an instant attack. The ultimate crisis hits while Lee and Marcus are away gathering food. Evelyn goes down to the basement to do laundry and steps directly onto a long rusted nail sticking up from a wooden step. The agonizing pain causes her to drop a glass jug that shatters loudly across the floor. The noise instantly alerts a nearby monster, which breaks into the house. To make matters worse, the shock triggers active labor. Evelyn crawls upstairs, barely managing to flip the farm's light switch to emergency red. Out in the cornfields, Lee and Marcus see the red glow and sprint home. Lee instructs Marcus to execute their emergency plan, to set off a massive cache of fireworks as a distraction. Inside the house, Evelyn hides in the upstairs bathtub. The creature stalks into the bathroom, its armored head opening up, trying to hear her heavy breathing as she desperately holds her breath just inches away from its claws. Just as it detects her, Marcus ignites the fireworks. The booming explosions completely overload the creature's sharp hearing, forcing it to flee through the window toward the noise. Under the cover of the explosions, Evelyn screams out and gives birth to a baby boy. Lee arrives and moves them to an underground bunker under the barn, placing the newborn inside a padded, soundproof box equipped with an oxygen mask. Outside, Marcus and Reagan are cut off in the cornfields by another monster. They flee to the top of a giant grain silo, but the rusted roof collapses, dropping Marcus into deep corn grain where he begins to suffocate. Reagan dives in to pull him out, but their frantic struggles echo loudly. A creature tears into the silo, trapping them inside. As it gets close, Reagan's custom hearing aid suddenly emits a piercing screech of high-frequency static. The noise causes the monster intense physical agony, forcing it to claw at its own face and flee. The kids escape the silo and hide inside an old truck cab, but the monster tracks them, tearing at the roof to get inside. Lee finds the truck but is heavily wounded. Realizing he cannot kill the beast before it breaches the cab, he decides to sacrifice himself and save the kids. Lee drops his weapon and lets out a massive scream. The monster drops from the truck and kills Lee instantly. The kids release the truck's brake, coasting back to the house and reunite with Evelyn in the basement workshop. Cornered in the basement, the family watches another creature entering the house and stalking downstairs. As it approaches, Reagan's hearing aid screeches again. Looking at her father's notes on the creature's anatomy, she finally understands that frequency is the only weapon against the monsters. She turns the radio amplifier to max volume and presses her hearing aid against a live microphone. The monster drops to its knees, thrashing in neurological pain as its bulletproof head armor peels open, exposing its raw brain tissue. Evelyn steps forward with a shotgun and fires directly into its exposed ear, killing it. On the monitors, 2 more monsters sprint toward the house, drawn by the gunshot. But this time, Evelyn cocks her shotgun with a confident smile as now she knows how to kill those creatures.